Welcome back, everybody, to the Phazon Labs. I am your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me again is Isabel Bergman Bramman. And and we're recording live from Studio SR 388. Before we jump in, we're gonna let you know you can and should find us at our home at world11.podbean.com. That's all spelled out, all one word. You can, of course, pick us up on the World 11 YouTube channel as well, because this show is powered by World 11. And there's a forthcoming Twitter that we have not set up yet, but we'll stick that in show notes upon publication. Yeah, that covers it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's jump in. For those that are new, this is a brand new podcast where we are taking elevator pitches, fan fiction ideas, all that good stuff for new Metroid games because Nintendo refuses to make one. So, this week, I'm turning it over to Isabel, who's got one. And I have yet to hear what it is, so I'm along for the ride as much as you because that's fun for me.
All right. So this isn't technically my idea. This is based on McTroid's idea. Shout out to him on Twitter. So this is Donkey Kong Country and Metroid crossover.
Okay.
So yeah, so I have a little bit of a story pitch for you. I'll
ends up
tell you.
stealing a forthcoming idea, I'm going to be unhappy. I've got an idea, but we'll get there.
Okay, so Samus is chasing after some pirates, and after a fierce battle, they shoot her down. So then she crash lands on a tropical planet. So she's exploring this planet, and then suddenly a strange monkey in a hat bursts out of the bushes and is followed by a Kremling. So Samus engages and defeats the Kremling, and now it's up to Samus and the DK crew to defeat both the Kremlings and the pirates and find a way to restore Samus's lost ship. What are your thoughts about that?
I'm not vehemently opposed to this by any means. I'm kind of picturing at the end of this her ship being patched together with vines and leaves and sticks.
Yes, that's exactly how I want it to be. Well, and see, like, this is sort of based on, I don't know if you've seen, like, the Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze one. They have those, like, little Easter eggs of, like, her crashed ship and, like, the little Metroid and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, like, this definitely could take place on the planet that the DK crew is hanging out on. I feel like it's not implausible for this to happen. So, I mean, I think this would be a really good idea. It's not implausible in the least, and that's part of the beauty of it, really, is that because she is spacefaring, there's no reason that, she can't turn up in another series somewhere because, Donkey Kong is nowhere as it said Donkey Kong takes place specifically on Earth. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I kind of like to imagine that most of them exist at least on another world, if not their own separate worlds, except for maybe Donkey Kong and Mario. They've been together enough. They're probably on the same planet somewhere. Mm-hmm. Now that I think about this. But, I mean, I can see this. This actually connects semi-loosely to a shared universe theory that I keep in my head. Yeah. Not quite the same, but... Yeah. Yeah. So...
But no, I'm trying to figure out in my head now how this plays. I mean, I can see traditional 2D side scroll. Go.
Yes. So
sorry, I'm not trying to cut off.
No, it's okay. So I have like two ideas for gameplay that are different from like the traditional like 2D platformer that I like to share with you. So the first one is a 2D style platformer, but with running gun elements. So like if you can imagine like Contra and stuff, and like I would like to imagine this because I want to see like the peanut guns and that kind of thing, just like damage all the Kremlings and that kind of stuff. I can imagine that. Um, or my second thing is that it would be a beat 'em up style with platform elements like the Subspace Emissary or like World of Light kind of thing. So like you would run around and like beat up Kremlings and space pirates, and then you would have some light platforming here and there, but you're mostly just like wailing on all these enemies here and just like those like old style beat 'em up games where you're just like fighting wave after wave of enemies, that kind of thing. I think that would be a lot of fun. So that's why I think it'd be like different from like a typical 2D platformer and have its own kind of like style for the gameplay. If that makes sense.
It does. And it honestly kind of makes me wonder why Nintendo as a whole has never taken the Smash theory of, a collective of franchises and stuck them into other genres. Because at this point, I feel like this is a gateway to like a Smash Brothers 2D beat 'em up, from across the entire Nintendoverse would kind of be amazing, honestly.
Yeah, I can just imagine like just all these different characters just like like running through the streets, just like wailing on each other, and then once you beat them up, it would like eat through your lives, that kind of thing, and then you pay quarters, something like that. I don't know. It would just something like that. I think would be a lot of fun, and it would be like slightly different. From like a typical like Metroid or like Donkey Kong game, but it would still have kind of like the elements of it. So and then like I was thinking that because like the story is so kind of like you're beating up all these enemies and you're just trying to defeat the pirates and that kind of stuff, there doesn't need to be any grand overarching narrative and that kind of thing. It's just you're just going to town, just beating up all these enemies, and that there doesn't need to be a nice little lesson at the end. Sometimes you just want to beat up people. That's your lesson.
As a matter of fact, this is just, it finally settled in my head. I could 100% see this playing in like Prime style first person, and have that viewpoint in that engine to go through Donkey Kong's world. Like I can see very vividly in my head Retro's take on this, in creating that world. And even better, a thing that I need somebody to make so I can put it in my earballs is like Metroid Donkey Kong music fused.
Oh yeah.
Like, man, I'm feeling like there's a few Donkey Kong tracks that are already well on their way. You just put a little sci-fi twinge in it and you can get there real nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like
Hey, Domino Crossing, there's an idea for you.
Yes.
We want to hear it.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like as though the two could mesh really well together. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I wasn't seeing it at first, but it started to come together in my head.
Yeah, see, I'm glad that you're coming together with my mad ideas. Yes. Yes, see, this is one of the perks when you have a job that you don't really think a lot, is that you get to think about stuff like this.
You're preaching to the choir. That's how this show came to be.
Yeah. That's true. So yes. So and then I was thinking like there would be absolutely no dialogue in this. Just like
no.
Yeah, I think it would be really funny though if there was just like facial and body language. And like Samus was kind of like the straight man to all the DK crew's antics. And she's just kind of like, I guess I'm helping these monkeys, but these monkeys are just like so weird. And then I can just imagine like Diddy Kong just like trying to take apart Samus's suit, and Samus is like slapping him off and that kind of thing. I can just imagine like the cutscenes. They would just be awesome.
What if the upgrades are all very like DK level of technology? So like the grapple hook is actually, you know, wooden and vined, you know, and attached to the arm. I'm like, I'm mentally enjoying this blend of aesthetic.
Like it would just be so wacky, and just you know, just and again, like they don't feel like as though they should mesh, but I think like if it done with like a deft hand, they could easily do, and I think that would be just like mwah, perfect. You know, like just like, you know, like chocolate and peanut butter, like you know, you don't think they go well together, but I think they could just be like the perfect combination.
I think the better analogy would be bacon and ice cream.
Ooh, okay. Yes, I like that analogy better. Yes.
Also, just occurred to me, because again, the visual in my head is really appealing for very bizarre reasons, but I'm sitting here thinking, if this is Prime style, then the high jump boots effectively turn into a double jump, and I think it'd be perfect if it was Diddy Kong's like bongo jets strapped to her back.
Yes.
For the double jump. I'm like, I want this now. Somebody make that happen.
Well, and I think it would also be fun, like if you could also like have special weapons or like upgrades for the DK crew as well, that were based off of like Samus's armor, like they, like for some reason, like let's say that they, you know, parts of her ship got, you know, crash landed, and so they found them and they were like, ooh, this is cool, let's make some stuff from it. And so they, you know, started crafting together all this crazy stuff from it, and Samus is like, no, that's mine. But you know, like Diddy and Donkey Kong are like, but look at this is so cool, look at, I made a gun. And you're like, no, that's not good. But something like that I think would be really fun.
His peanut popper gets refashioned to look like an arm cannon.
Yes, no, I like that idea.
Here's a banger of an idea for you, because it's something I've only ever seen toyed with in the series, technically twice, I suppose, and one of them wasn't even official. But in terms of gameplay, there's a great opportunity here to toy with the idea of making an ability accessible or usable in after a fashion, and you'll see where I'm going with this here. Before you get the upgrade. So essentially, maybe like there's a section that you're pushing through where grappling is a thing, or the mechanics of a thing, but you haven't acquired any sort of grapple hook yet. And so it's restricted, at least until you find that upgrade, to that specific area so that you can get through it. But once you get the upgrade, there's a whole lot of other grapple points that open up more, but it's a way to toy with, you know, giving an ability and then taking it away, at least temporarily. But if you think about it, if we're out in DK Jungle, there's vines everywhere. So she could be pushing through like a real heavily vined segment and essentially swing from the hanging vines, same as she would once she gets her grapple. So you've got some grapple stuff available to you, but only in a very limited capacity because it's tied to the environment, not your ability, until you find that ability later.
Oh, I like that idea. Because again, like you said, it's based on the environment. And like I can imagine like other kind of like things too, like again with like I'm trying to think of like a good like the like like with jets of water maybe, and then it like transforms into like your high jump boots or something like
Yeah.
that. Something, that kind of thing. I'm trying like because I'm playing through like Ori right now, and so like there's a little bit
Ooh.
of like Ori in the Blind Forest, and there's like a little bit of that too, where there's like those like little jump things, and then like it transitions into like the double jump. So I do see where you're going with this, and I do like that a lot.
But the series has toyed with that concept once officially with Zero Mission,
Mm-hmm.
and once unofficially with AM2R. Because
Mm-hmm.
there's a section in AM Zero Missions out because at the end you lose your suit and you're down to the Zero suit and a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked AM2R's take where you had the gravity suit and there was a section that or no, it wasn't the gravity suit. There was a section that had like a security field that stopped your ability to fire your weapons while you were in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was neat. I always liked that idea, and I thought it should be further explored as a gameplay concept. But but no, that idea just kind of rolled in my head. Also, banana missiles need to be a thing.
Yes, yes, or coconut missiles, coconut bombs.
I feel like, yeah, coconuts would be great power bombs.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I can just all these crazy different plant-based weapons. I think just wasted opportunity for a perfect crossover here. Like, bacon and ice cream. This is perfect. Like
I'm honestly hoping at the very least, since Prime 4 is back in the hands of Retro, that there will be a Donkey Kong Easter egg in there. So since now they technically have, gotten to do both franchises, this is the first Metroid they've done since they've touched Donkey Kong, though. So it'd be the first chance they had to slip some DK Easter eggs into Prime 4.
I remember, because couldn't in like Prime 3 you could get like stickers for your ship, right?
Yeah.
So I would love to if you could get more stickers for your ship, and they could get like Donkey Kong stickers on there too. So
yeah, I was gonna say the stickers in Prime 3 were actually based off of it was reading all the other save files on your system, and if it had a save file from another game that they had programmed for, it would let you it would add the bumper sticker of that game to her ship.
Yeah.
So.
I just really want to play the Prime games. Anyway, so we'll get to that at some point. But yes, go back to Donkey Kong Country and Metroid. So there was one more thing that I thought about, and this is based again on like a beat 'em up. So you know how like in Donkey Kong Country you could collect all those coins, like the special coins?
Yeah.
So I thought that you could use those to buy like upgrades for that. Kind of like how in Link Between Worlds you could buy your weapons from Ravio. I thought that would be an interesting, like this would be like kind of more, like consumable goodies, I feel. Like certain things, but you could like collect special coins and then spend them on like consumable goodies like coconut power bombs or that kind of thing. So I think that would be a cool way to like tie the kind of like challenge aspect of Donkey Kong with like the more kind of like fun like strategy, a little bit of that.
See, I see what I smell what you're stepping in here. My thought now leans, this ties back to a direction we went with your last one, would be to take this more of a Dead Space route and make it so that you can pick up some, consumable resources to spend on upgrades for your equipment and your assorted power-ups. Because that's something that the series has never really done either, is take an existing power-up, or upgrade, and then stack another layer of like a next level up that specific ability thing,
Mm-hmm.
which no, I think that's not entirely accurate. You got that sort of with the beam combos in Prime 1 and 2, but even
Mm-hmm.
then, not really. I'm thinking more, actually making some baseline upgrades to the upgrades that get found in this. And
Yeah.
I'm totally imagining this in like the Dead Space or BioShock fashion, where you can actually like visually see the equipment,
Mm-hmm.
progressing as you're doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
like the thought of the more it gets built out, the more kind of primitive and DK jungle inspired style equipment starts looking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. And like, uh, I think like it would be fun to have that kind of like strategy a little bit of it. Because I know, like, again, going back to like Ori and the Blind Forest, they have like a skill tree that you
Hmm.
can spend points on. So
Oh
it'd be
yeah.
kind of fun to have that kind of like aspect too of something. I mean, like, they don't necessarily need to have like a skill tree, but like something that you can like spend,
Yeah.
stuff on, because you collect a lot of stuff, and I think it would be fun to, like have that kind of a little bit of the strategy in that of like what do I spend on, a little bit of more like thinking like that, uh, you know. But yeah, no, it makes me think like uh because if it's not going to be like a full platformer game, it's going to be like aspects of like beat 'em ups or like shooters or that kind of thing, then you could really like play around with like the upgrade system or that kind of
Mhm.
thing. So,
Oh yeah.
mhm,
So, but that's my thought,
mhm,
or my couple of thoughts as they started coming to me finally. Um, well, we're closing in on a 30-minute mark, so let's put a button on this, and I'm gonna need you to give it a title.
okay. Oh, uh, so let's do, let me think. I'm gonna give you a bad title, and then
Uh-oh.
I'll probably think of a really good one. So it would be the oh, I forgot what it was. Oh no. So it would probably be something along the lines of the mm, DK crew and Metroid, uh, something like that. I don't know. I'm terrible with coming up with titles. Do you have anything better?
Oh, let's see here. You could kind of almost go with the standard or the now standardized format of Metroid X Donkey Kong.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of thinking it needs something with a little more personality.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost there. It's it's close. Hmm.
I feel like Space Jam keeps coming to my mind, and I feel like that's
Oh God.
terrible. But like, and I don't know why it keeps coming to my head, but like it's like space, and then it's like Donkey Kong is all like music based too, kind of. But like Metroid X Donkey Kong, like space something. I don't know. I can just imagine them like at the very end, like Samus is like, "You want to come with me?" And then they're all just like in the ship together, like riding through space. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, just as the very end, and then they go on an adventure, that kind of thing. So, but
I'm
yeah.
thinking too if this could almost take a survival turn as well,
Mhm.
because she gets cut off from everything that is kind of a baseline requirement for survival for her, and she's having to adapt into their world in order to survive with, her ship being knocked out of commission again, which you need to talk about how that seems to keep fucking happening too. But in any case, because that's almost as bad as losing your power-ups at the beginning of every game. I'm just saying that never gets talked about, but it should. But I think, with a touch of that survival thrown in there almost, maybe like let's see here, Metroid Stranded.
Ooh, I do like that. Yes, I'd like that a lot. Yeah.
So I think that'll put a perfect little button on this episode.
Yeah, we'll tie a little bow, send it to Nintendo as a free gift. Yes, I like that. Yes, Metroid Stranded. Metroid X Donkey Kong Stranded. Yes, perfect. I love it.
Beautiful. We've come up with another winner.
Yes.
So, and once this episode goes live, you should check out the forthcoming Twitter account that'll be in the show notes, because I'm thinking what we're going to do for each of these episodes, when it posts on Twitter, we need it with a poll that says, would you play this? Just a yes, no vote. I think it'd be fun feedback on the pitches on Twitter. That could be entertaining. So,
yes, I agree.
All right. So, poll will go up on the Twitter when this goes live, and that's a wrap for this week. So, thank you very much, Isabel. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll be back in a week with another one for you. So, until then, have a good night. Peace.
Bye.